Okay, welcome guys to the next Blender tutorial. So hopefully today we don't get interrupted and I can do a full tutorial because we had a lot of people knocking at the door the other day, which kind of annoyed me a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. So today we're going to be making a gumball machine. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete the default cube right here because we're not going to need that. We're going to go to the render machine, just at the render, just at the side right here, change from EV to cycles. And what we're going to do, there's different types of gumball machines. So you've got the tall ones and you've also got the shorter ones as well. So it depends which type of gumball machine you want to make, whether it's a traditional one, whether it's a more modern one, whether it's a more funky one, any design really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tabletop one. So let's see. So we're going to start with let's go with a UV sphere. I'm just going to go ahead and just make this a little bit bigger and zoom in so you guys can see what's going on. And also what I'm going to do is just split the screen so you guys can see the side view. So if we press 1 on the number pad for side view, and then for this one we can just leave it kind of freestanding. So what you're going to want to do is go to edit mode, and we're going to select these faces just on top right here. So if you come over to this tab right here, we can just select the faces on their own. If you go 7 to heaven, so you've got straight down view, we can go ahead and just select all of these around here. Shift control should, in theory, select everything. For some reason, it's doing it in little bits. It's okay if it does it like this, just carry on going around. Make sure that you've got everything. Okay, so once we've got this part right here, we're going to want this as a little bit of a lid. So I'm just going to press delete, and then we're going to go faces. And then what we want to do is press this button right here, so we're selecting the actual vertices. And what I'm going to do, just use your scroll wheel and go across to toggle X-ray on this side. And what you want to do is just select all of these vertices that are going across the top. So now we've got all of this selected. So what we're going to do, we're going to go E for extrude, bring it straight up, and then just scale inwards just ever so slightly, and then E for extrude. Your goal right here is just to make a little bit of a lip on the outside of the gumball machine itself. Now at this point, you can either extrude everything and have it go inwards, or you can build the inside of it, or as I'm going to experiment with this one because I tried to make a little globe last time and for some reason the whole program kind of glitched on me. The actual how do I describe it? So when you do glass and you make, say, a glass, you usually do an outside and an inside, and then you can see the light refraction through it once you put the glass materials on there. However, last time that I did this, for some reason the glass materials didn't work properly. So I'm not too sure whether this is a new version thing or whether it was just a little bit of a glitch that I came across. But it was definitely something that I don't want to come across again. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, I'm going sideways here. If you guys just noticed that, I didn't even realise. Just stick to your vertices when you're doing this, so stick to this. What I'm going to do is I might just make the inside of the glass as it is. I'm just going to leave it as is, see what it looks like, and then we'll work with the actual glass. So if we shade this smooth, just experiment with your materials a little bit before changing any of this. Let's go new. So I'm trying to figure out whether we need to build the inside of it to make it look like the gumball machine. Do we need that part, or are we just going as is? So if we go glass BSDF, what I'm going to do, just to get some of that light in there as well, I'm just going to go ahead and scale this outwards, and then I'm going to press G and bring it down, and just render. And then I'm just going to bring down the roughness as well. So you can already see this looks quite glass-like, but there's nothing around the edge to suggest that this is glass. There's no depth to it. So I think within this version we should definitely put something on the inside to make sure that we can see that light refraction from the glass. So we just go to regular mode right here, this one, sorry, and we just go to edit mode. what we can do, I would say just press E for extrude, but to be honest with press E for extrude and then go inwards, but to be honest with you, you have a lot more control if you do it like this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go E for extrude just here, bring it up, make sure that you're on this plane, because I wasn't last time. Let's go again, E for extrude, we're just going to make that little bevel around the outside. And then we're going to go E for extrude, leave it where it is, scale it inwards just ever so slightly. And then we're going to go E for extrude, bring it down. And then just follow. You can see this on the inside right here. So if we go E for extrude, just come down to that line, scale it outwards. And then E for extrude again. Come down to the line, scale it outwards. E for extrude. Oh wait, come down to that line, scale it outwards. I'm pretty sure that should be straight in there. I'm just going to go ahead and just inspect the edges of this. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so E for extrude again. And then we're going to go scale outwards. E for extrude. Make sure that you keep into that line. Going straight down. And then we'll go E for extrude again. And just carry on going down the middle. You want to leave that little bit of gap just at the side so that you've got that little bit of refraction on the glass. E for extrude again. Scale it inwards and just keep going all the way down. So if you wanted to, you can make an opening at the bottom of this. For me, I'm not going to make one in this tutorial, but what you can do, if you make a little opening at the bottom, you could have a tube, and if you wanted to animate it, you could have gumballs falling through it. So to do that, just remove a couple of pieces just from the bottom, and then add the tube in. But that's more for animation. Today we're just building the model. So we now have this. If we go back to the render mode and then we go to object mode, we can now see that we've got this nice little buff coming around the edge. If we mess around with the IOR, we can pull this in just a little bit more, have a little bit more shine. I think I'm going to go for about there. So it seems to be working for me at this point. Last time I was doing this glass just wasn't working at all. It was glitching out like crazy, so I don't know. Maybe it was just a one-off thing, but I just wanted to test that because I don't want to teach you guys something and then, you know, maybe a setting's been tweaked or something by the Blender team. So, once we've got this, we're going to just take it, just press J, bring it up. So, for the base of this, what I'm going to work with, let's see. Let's put a circle. Let's start with a circle. Let's press G, bring it up. We want a nice little silver ring just around the bottom. So we're going to go to edit mode. We'll go F for fill, E for extrude. Just bring it up slightly. Now take this top face right here, take this bottom face right here. Oops, if you've got one. So let's go edit mode. Face is right here, so it's going to be easier to do. I'm just going to take off this X-ray mode. It's kind of distracting. So just delete the bottom and second faces so that you've got this nice little ring going around the bottom. We're going to go to edit mode if you're not there already. We're going to go A to select everything, E for extrude, scale it inwards. And then what I'm going to do around the edges, I'm going to go Control R. Let's go around the edge right here. A little loop cut, and we're just going to go and just pull it outwards just a little bit. And then object mode, we'll shade this smooth. And then we're going to go to the menu, just over here. Go to your materials. We'll put new, and this will be silver. So anything that's silver on your project, this is the silver that you use for standardization kind of thing. So let's take down that roughness, pull up that metallic even. I'm just going to make the silver a little bit more brighter. Just to about there. So, let's see. We want this to fit just around the bottom here. So, we can take this side view right here, and we can see that we've got this. So we can press G, bring it up. Let's just have a look at some of my notes here. Let's scale this just about here, I would say. Make sure that your edges are just touching just about here, so it just sits and fits. It's not intersecting with the bowl, it's not too far up, it's not too far down, it sits nicely. So what we've got now is we can add a cube. Press G, just bring it up to wherever you need it, roughly the bottom of here. Make sure that they don't intersect, so the silver bar that's going around the bottom should sit on top of the box. We'll go to edit mode. I'm just going to go ahead and grab the bottom face right here and just press G to bring it down. And what you want to do is press S for scale, just to bring it outwards just a little bit. Now you'll notice that this is a little bit short right here, so what we're going to do, press for this top face right here, scale it outwards. And I'm going to actually bevel this a little bit as well. So for the front of your piece right here, what you want to do is just Control R and scroll the wheel, and you'll get two lines just like this. Control R, scroll the wheel, you'll get two lines again just like this. And if you want to, you can have a silver front to this. I might actually put a silver front to it. Let's go with this one just for 1 second. I'm going to go Control R, half this side and half this side, half this side and then half this side. So you've got something like this. We're going to take these 5 right here, E for extrude, scale it inwards just slightly. Just press G, bring it back, just give it that nice little bevel. E for extrude again, and then just scale inwards just slightly. So this will be the silver part to the front of your piece. Now, at the sides right here, you can actually make this a little bit more rounder. So what I'm going to do is just Control R, get this loop cut in again, and then I'm just going to press S for scale, and just go along that line just at the side. And now we should have these two as they are. And you can also do this for the back as well if you'd like. So we can take this face to this face, just press G, bring it back a little bit, or you can take all of these ones actually. Just to kind of give it a little bit more stability. Just to about there. So it's a little bit more rounder, flat on the front. Now this is a little bit too big for my project, I think. So what I'm going to do is shade smooth. I'm just going to go ahead and just scale it ever so slightly down. So you don't want this too top heavy, but you just want roughly about that size. So press G, you can bring it up a little bit. And what I can do on the top as well here is edit mode. If we do another couple of loop cuts just about here as well. And if we go into the X-ray mode, we should be able to see a little better. Or even, let's see, we go to wireframe. Let's take this X-ray mode off actually. If you select this piece to this piece, make sure that you've got that nice little line around the edge. You can actually make this a little bit more sunken, just in the middle. So you've got this nice little thing. So what I'm going to do, let's take this off. Let's go for a modifier. So this one right here. If we go for bevel, we can just bevel the edges just ever so slightly. Just to make it a little bit more rounder. So on this particular one, what we're going to do is let's press new for materials. Let's go for, this one can be the base. And we'll place this as a nice little red for the base. And what we can do is go to edit mode, click on these faces at the front where it comes out. Make sure that you've got them all. Oops. Yeah, that's me not concentrating there. So make sure that you've got all these faces that are sticking out. Just go around each side, bottom and top. And then we're going to press plus and we'll go new. And this will be the silver. So what we want to do, go to this drop down right here. Go to the silver, assign. And now we've got the same silver here as we do here. So if we go to object mode, we can now see that we've got this nice little silver going on. So if we go to edit mode, take this part right here. We can go E for extrude, and this can be the little tray. And then we can go loop cut again, just around the side there. If I place it as this model right here, you can see what's going on. Loop cut this side, and then loop cut just in the middle. If we take these ones right here, we go E for extrude and just pull them forward. Now we've got this nice little tray going on where the gumball comes out. So you can have this angled just slightly downwards so that it falls into the user's hand. So usually they have like a little turntable on top. I mean, you could put this just here if you wanted to. Or we can make this just a little bit taller. And we could place that there as well. So once we've got the kind of rendered version going, we should have something like this. I think that silver's just a little bit too much. I'm looking at different gumball machines right here, thinking like, what can I use from each design, because I don't want to make an exact design. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit taller, just on this side, and then put the turntable right here. So to do that, let's take the globe thing that we have, the little silver ring at the bottom. If I can ever click it. Let's press G, bring it up. Take the red base, let's go to edit. We're going to go ahead and just grab all of the top right here and just press G and bring it up. And maybe you want to just scale that inwards. Actually no, don't scale it inwards, just bring it up. We can go to the object mode right here. Let's bring this down just ever so slightly. And then I'm just going to place this back on top. Okay, so now we need the little turny bit. So I'm going to go with a cylinder, press G, and then rotate it by 90. And just scale it inwards ever so slightly, and then bring it over to the model itself. So now what we can do, we can actually place this as another silver. Same kind of silver, so it all blends in. Maybe just bring it back just ever so slightly. Just make sure that when you do, it kind of sits and fits in with the model, so it's not too high and it's not too short. Just going to pull that up just ever so slightly there. Okay, shade smooth, right click shade smooth, go to the materials tab and just go down to silver. So this should roughly be the same tone. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull this outwards just ever so slightly, just there, so that it matches up with these two sides. Just there, I think. And what I can also do as well, let's go to the edit mode. We'll take this, we'll go E for extrude, we'll go scale inwards, and then E for extrude again. So at this point you might want to take this face just ever so slightly forward. So if we go with G, bring it forward. And what we can also do is go to the object mode right here, select your big one, you can go for edit mode, and then take this face, this face, this face, and any faces that are underneath. I'm just going to go ahead and shrink them down ever so slightly and then bring them back. So now we've got this nice little open tray just at the front. And then I will take this little tray right here and I'm just going to press G to bring it down a little bit inside. So now we've kind of got that scoop tray where the gumball can come down. It's going to go forward towards the user, and if the user doesn't grab it in time, it'll just go back. So it kind of makes more sense to have this one. Have this design, I think. So I think the next bit we could add in a cube, just for the turny part. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do a cube. I'm going to do another cylinder. Let's go for a cylinder. So usually when I was a kid and we had these, the gumballs would just drop out the front. And it'd be rather annoying. So I'm just going to go ahead, scale this down, scale this inwards, and then just press G and then bring it back. Now at this point, you can make this as big or as wide as you want to. You can make your own little design. Just going to scale that outwards just slightly, and then I'm just going to press, let's go with S for scale. Bring that down and then rotate it just ever so slightly on the inside so you can turn it. And also you're going to want a little slot for the coins as well. So you could place the coin slot maybe just at the side right here. Maybe it's like a fancy design. So let's go again, let's standardize that silver. I'm just going to make that bigger actually. And then shade it smooth as well. So for the coin part, we can go for the main body. Let's go edit mode. Loop cut just at the side, and then loop cut just at this side. What I'm going to do, let's put that one there. You know, I'm going to grab the faces first and then we'll do the loop cuts for the actual kind of coin. So, I'm just trying to think, do I want this high or do I want this lower? You can have it wherever you like. I think I'm going to put mine there. So if we go E for extrude, scale it inwards. Then we can go E for extrude again, just scale inwards just to give it that little bevel. And then I'm going to do a loop cut. Let's press G, move it up if you need to. Let's just backtrack on that one. So your loop cut should be roughly about here. And then let's go loop cut again on this side. So many people probably won't agree with me doing all the loop cuts on this side, but to be honest with you, this is just easier for me. You can do this with a separate object if you'd like. So just select all of this once you've got that. We're going to go standardize silver. We'll go assign. And then for this little slot that we've made right here, this will be where the coin goes. We go E for extrude. So you could put a little plaque at the bottom here as well if you wanted to. Let's go for another loop cut. Usually I'd put these as separate objects, but to be honest with you, today it's just kind of like I want the objects to kind of be as one object. If you were going to use this as a prop. So you could like use this, E for extrude, just ever so slightly, and then make this white, plus assign. Just for that one. You could put all your prices on this side as well. So maybe like, I don't know, 3 cents or whatever like that, or 20 pence, you know, whatever you'd like. So the next part that we can do, we can put on the lid. So we're going to go to add. Let's go to cylinder. Cylinder might be best for this. Let's press, ignore the B. Let's press G, bring it up. I'm just going to go ahead and scale it outwards just ever so slightly. Just so that I can get this to where it needs to be. So, if we look at this version right here where we can see through everything, we can make the lid just about here. So, let's scale this image just ever so slightly. Make sure that the bottom of the cylinder just sits on the edge right here. We're going to go to edit mode, take the tap face, G, bring it down. What you want to do is just scale this outwards. Don't worry about the inside for the moment, we can deal with that afterwards. E-for extrude again, E-for extrude, scale it inwards, E-for extrude, and then you can scale this one inwards, and then E-for extrude again, and all you want to do is just make a cap over the top. So maybe we could go upwards just ever so slightly, make this a kind of fancy design, bring this outwards a little bit, bring this up, scale it inwards, scale it inwards. You can have that little ridge for when you need to pick it up off the top. Maybe remove the lid. Scale it inwards. And I kind of want to do that cookie jar look to the top of it as well, where you've got that little bauble thing that goes on. So let's go E for extrude. Scale it inwards. E for extrude. Let's E for extrude and then take it outwards. So let's go here. Then we could make that little, maybe this is too big, but we'll see when we zoom back. So, we have this right here. You want to shade this smooth. Go to the materials tab. Instead of clicking new, you want the base, which is the red, to match this base. So, once we've got this, we now have sort of a design. I'm just going to go ahead and just change this lighting a little bit so you can see what's going on. So let's take these two lights right here, and then we'll put two more lights right here. Let's go in render mode. So now we've kind of got this nice little almost gumball machine. To be honest with you, I think I might make this dome just a little bit bigger. I think it's just too small. So if we take this top right here, and then the little ring underneath, if you can click that, come on, you might have to zoom in. We can scale this outwards. Oops, don't select your light as well. Make sure your light isn't selected. Why are we going that way? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So make sure it's just this that you've selected. Make it just ever so slightly bigger. Now it is going to intersect into the bottom here, so you have to press G, bring it up. Make sure it sits and fits just right on top. And this, I kind of want to make it a little bit more rounder. And maybe I'm just going to pull this back. I'm just experimenting at the moment, just pulling this back a little bit. So when you resize stuff as well, don't forget to pull things forward, pull things back, so that it's all nice and neat. So that should go just about there. Okay, so when we render this now, this looks a little bit more friendlier, looks a little bit more dome-like, a little bit more candy-like. So let's go to the modifiers just for one moment. I'm just going to make this a little bit smoother. Or at least try and edit this just slightly. Let's go for edges. To be honest with you, I think it'll be fine the way that it is. I mean, if yours is a little bit too sharp around the edges, you could go back into this and just remake a few things. So we need to make the main event, the gumballs, because I think we're done with the machine. So to make the gumballs, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a UV sphere. So we're going to make a series of gumballs. So let's place them all up here. Let's go shade smooth. So this first one will go to material, we'll go new, this one will be blue. What you want to do is make them shiny. So we'll go with this nice blue right here. You notice there's a little bit of shine on them already. You want to make it so that it's not mirrored, but it's got a nice glaze. So we can do the blue one there. What I'm going to do is let's go, new material. We'll go for pink, I think. Let's, sorry, just backtrack that one just a moment. What I'm going to do is Shift D, duplicate this out. We want this one pink. So if we go to, let me think. So on the older versions, you could make multiple colours going all the way down. For the newer versions, it's kind of a little bit different. So I'm just trying to figure out if this one will be able to do it. So if we just press the duplicate button right in the corner right here, if we put this one as pink, although it's not pink right now, we can change it. So if we go to the edit mode, select everything, we'll assign this one, and then we'll just change this to pink. Yeah. Okay, so because we've duplicated this one and this one, they in theory should have the same shine on them. So we see that the pink one has got a 0.261 on the roughness, and we see that the blue one also has a 0.261. You want to keep that as a standardization for every single gumball, because you don't want some gumballs that are really shiny and then some gumballs that are really dull, unless you're looking to make a piece of artwork where maybe it's two separate gumball companies, I don't know, or maybe the gumballs are old or stale or something like that, I don't know. It's your story at the end of the day. So let's go Shift D with this blue one. We'll do the same thing again. So you're taking this one, we want to go to edit mode, let's go to duplicate, and we could do this one as green. So they should always come up with, it should be blue 0.001 for anything that you duplicate. So if it just says blue on it, it's the original colour, because you put blue in. The duplicates are 0.001. So for this one we're going to click assign, and we want to change this one to green. Again, we've got the same roughness, and we've got the same alpha. So these will all have the same nice material shine on them. So let's go again. We'll make an orange one. So duplicate right there. It says green 001, which means it's not the original green. This is now the copy. So we've got orange for this one, and then we just change this one to orange. Let's see, what can we do? So if you change the shine on any of these materials, it will just change that one material. So if you need more shine, say like you alter the shine on the orange, it will not be the same as the blue now. But if you do everything as duplicate as we've just done, they'll all be the same. So it's if you mess with it, it will change. So let's go Shift D again. We'll do red. So duplicate that out. So now we've got orange 001. We want to make this red, and we will change the color to red. So let's go Shift D. I think the only color that we're missing is white. So duplicate this one. Well, white. I don't know, I'm looking at different notes here, because you've got pink ones, you've got blue ones, you've got green ones, orange ones, red ones, yellow ones. It just seems to be those kind of colours. And then you've got the little white ones that we're doing now. I mean, you could do any shade if you want. There's a gumball machine that's on my notes here that's got purple ones inside of it. Yeah, I think we'll just go with these ones just for now. So, arranging these inside your gumball machine. Now, depending on how big you want these, we'll leave those as a standardization just there until we finish the project. So if you take this red one, for example, Shift D, bring it down. So you actually won't see this in here at the moment. So if we look at the size of the tray compared to the gumballs, that will give us an idea of what size we need. So this one, for me personally, I think it's too small. So what we need to do with that, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. If you bring all of your standardization just down to the front of your gumball machine, just scale them out, scale them in, and just test how they fit into this machine. So this one, to be honest with you, I think maybe just a little bit bigger. I think those would be alright. So to put these into the gumball machine, you're going to have to do a 7 to heaven and a side view that we've got on this side as well, just to make sure that you've got them in the right place and make sure that they don't clip each other. So let's, I'm just trying to think how I can position this so you guys can see what's going on. So if I put that one there, we'll do another split just here. We'll do, for this one we'll do 7 to heaven. So you get the downwards view. And then just do an X-ray so that you can see what's going on. Just put that one just there. And then for this one, we can just move this around to where we need it to be. So if we take all of these gumballs and we just Shift D it, bring it over to the top of the gumball machine, and then just press G and bring it down. You start putting these gumballs in. So I'm just going to do X-ray mode on this side as well. So what you want to do, theoretically, is just sit them. Fit and sit. That's practically it. You could do the outside more than you could do the inside if you wanted to. So we take this one and we just move it towards the side just here. Make sure that you've got that little gap just at the side where the glass interacts with the outside. You don't have to do the middle. Don't think that you have to do the middle. If you want to use physics and just dump them all in, you can do if you know how to do that. For me personally, I'm just going to do them all on the outside. You don't need to do the middle primarily because you're not going to see it. You're not going to see the middle, and also in the middle there's a little piece that I've neglected to put in. So if we just go to cylinder, usually what they have, because they've got a turner on the bottom, they've also got a metal kind of rod that holds the lid in as well, that runs directly down the centre. So just pull this out, which is just here. Just press G, bring it down. Make sure that it just goes to the bottom and the lid right there. We can go to the material. Let's go silver. And that's what it should look like on the inside. So you can fill this as much as you'd like. You can fill this all the way to the top. You can fill this all the way down here, like wherever you want to put them. So we've got the red one just on the side right here. You can't do X-ray in this mode, so you're just going to have to go with whatever's there. Kind of a blind one. So let's go for this gumball right here. We could start putting these at the bottom, or even better, let's go with this one. We'll move it to this side. Again, make sure it doesn't touch the edge of the glass. Take this one, and it might take you a while just to get these to where they need to be, but a neat little trick that you can do, which I'm going to show you. Let's put this one to the side just here. And you might have to check in the end for any intersections as well. Just going to place this one just a little bit higher. Oops, where are we going? Yeah, that one there. Place this one just about here. So this one is that one. Okay, so if you click all of the gumballs on the middle, let's go to wireframe mode just for 1 second and X-ray. Just make sure you've got nothing clicked. We want this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Right. So if we go Shift D, leave them where they are. Oh, that one's poking out the side. Doesn't matter. We can alter that afterwards and just rotate them. So if we just take this one that's poking out the side right here, just press G and bring it back in. This actually might take you a while just to kind of put these in. So far, we've got them like this. You see these two that are just kind of touching right there? These two, those two are alright actually. So, yeah, these two that are touching right here, if there's anything touching, just move it out of the way or delete it. So, your top should be the same as the bottom as well. It doesn't have to be the same as the bottom, but you could, in theory, just take these top ones because they're the same diameter. Just shift them, bring them down. You can do rotate as well, just rotate them around a little bit. Anything that sticks out, just get rid of it, I'll move it. You know what, I'm going to fill this up and then I'll come back to you with the magic of video editing, because I think this is just going to take too long to fill this up, and then, you know, yeah, I'll see you in a moment. Right, okay, so I put all the gumballs inside of it. I'll show you how to change colours if you've got too many of one colour. For this part right here, I've just realised that I've got the wrong material, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the drop down and just amend this to the silver for the standardisation and just assign it. Because I just realised that these two are completely different in tone, and that's something that we don't want. So, just going to pull that just a little bit. Maybe turn up this metallic, just ever so slightly. So now we've got this very silver base towards it. So what I'm going to do is these gumballs, many of them are orange, and we don't want, there's too many orange. So we're going to go down to the materials section right here. And what you want to do, just double click, because sometimes it clicks the dome on the outside, just click through. You want to go down to the drop down right here, and you can change this to red. Just click a new drop down. So we can take this one right here that we have, which is orange again. So we can go to this drop down, we can go blue. Let's take this orange one right here. And we will go for, I don't know, let's go for pink on that one. And then this orange one right here, we could like choose a blue or something, or there's a lot of white ones in the middle too. Let's see, let's go for, did we say blue? I think we said blue. Let's go with the blue. So now we've got this variation of kind of mix. We can also take one of these as well, I think. Let's change this to a pink. There's one here as well. There's too many oranges. It's like sweets sometimes when you don't get your favourite ones. And they just put a load of random flavours in, and I guarantee you many of them aren't the ones that you want. There's too many oranges. Okay, so once we've got these little oranges going on, what we can do is if we go to Shading tab. Now this might seem very counterproductive. We've got so many lights in here. I've been copying and pasting all over the place. So this might seem super counterproductive, but what we can actually do is we can make some materials just on here. So if we go to Principal BSDF, for some reason I can't get the key thingies on here, at least I don't think I can. They won't. Oh yeah, yes, they will work. They didn't work on the last version. That's interesting. So we'll take this one right here. If we go to add, we can go with bump. And what we can do, we can just make slight bumps on this plastic. Not on this particular one. Let's go to just ignore me a moment, go to this drop down, go to, it should be base red. Let's see, yeah, base red. So this is this one. If we go to add, you notice there's changes, don't worry about it. Let's go to add, we will go with noise texture. Colour to base colour. We get this nice little funky kind of thing going on. If we turn that up just a little bit. So this is almost like you've got this roughness going on. Kind of like an air bubble kind of thing. Let's go to add, we'll go bump. Let's add this right here. So you want to go colour to height. You'll notice that the colour changes on this now. So let's add. And also, whilst we're editing this one is also changing because it's the same material. So let's go ahead and add a colour ramp. Oops, add. Come on. Why have you done that? For some reason it's being weird. Okay, colour ramp. Just on the middle one right here. So we want this nice little red coming back. Improve that a little bit. So now what we've got is this nice little bumpy texture that's going around the outside. So we can actually improve the white as well on this. And the red. And we'll get a nice pink colour. If we move the red onto the other side, it'll be grey. If we move the white down and we move the red closer to the white, it will improve the colour a little bit. And if we bring the black down, it makes it darker. So, for this, you can put some more roughness on there if you want to, which gives it less shine. You can put the roughness upwards a little bit, which gives it a little bit more shine. Which goes about there. So what I'm going to do, before I edit anything else, don't worry about this not turning back silver. We can deal with this. So we're going to go to edit mode. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to select. Let's come off X-ray just for 2 seconds. Come on. Right. So I'm going to take this face right here to about here. This face right here to about here. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. And what we're going to do, we're going to make some texture to it. So we're going to go E for extrude, leave it where it is. S for scale, and just come across on the sides. Just come inwards, just like that. So it's got a little bit of grip on the outside. Let's go back to object mode. Scroll back. Now we've got this nice little grip going on the outside, and we've also got this nice little shine as well. Gives it a little bit more character. So let's go back to the shading tab just for 2 seconds because we need to fix this right at the front. So this should be silver. It should be standardized silver. Oops. Let's go with this one. We should be, let's see, layout, that particular object. So edit mode. Just for 1 second. Press A to just select everything and then just click off it. So we want to go for the silver that's going to be at the front. So we may have to select everything again just to change this. Let's go for plus. I'm just going to bring it off render mode a minute. I don't know why. Usually it does put this back on, but if it doesn't, as it has with mine, just click one corner. Shift control. It should select all of that. And then just select your individual pieces. And then we just want to reassign this to silver. Because for some reason, it decides to glitch. So, as well, the rest of your stuff that's supposed to be silver, just go ahead, just click those faces. Shift control. So we got them just right here. So, let's go on to this one. We want to assign it to this one. Go to the drop down. And go silver. So this one's just changed silver as well, so you might have to amend a few other things. So this one, we will go to, this one should not be selected, but we will assign this to another one. So this one will be new. We'll put this as white paper. Paper back. And what we should have in theory, if all is well, is a standardised gumball machine. You can change some of this tone and texture if you'd like to. I'm kind of looking at this thinking like I don't really like how this sits, but most gumball machines do have this. Just make sure all your gumballs aren't sticking out the side. You see this one right here? I don't know if you guys can see that. There's one sticking out right here. Just pull it back in. And I think there was one at the front just here as well. That one is a little bit too far forward. Yeah. Just here, I'm just going to go ahead and just pull that back. So now you can see when this re-renders, you no longer have a gumball kind of sticking out. So, I do quite like this design, but I would like to give this silver a kind of worn out texture. So if we go to the shading, go to the silver, and we go to Veroni texture, let's just zoom in on this one right now. Let's go to colour, to roughness. You'll get all this nice little kind of patchiness. So if you scale this up, you can actually make it look like it's kind of eroded and give it this kind of very rough, almost like it's been used for years look. Just about there. And then if we render this in, we can see that we've got the texture of this, we've got the texture of this. We can scale this up. You can also add a bump in this as well. So if we go to add, put bump, you don't need a colour ramp for this side, because it's just a roughness that we're messing with. Just shade anything smooth as well that needs to be shaded smooth. Take up the roughness, take down the roughness, take down the scale of this if you want to. Oops, I've missed a face right here. I'm just going to go ahead and just edit this. You see this little red bit right here? That shouldn't be red. That, on the materials tab, should be silver, so let's assign that back. Just rotate your model as well, just to make sure that you've got everything. And everything's where it should be. And I think, roughly, that should be the tutorial of how to make a gumball machine. Now, I don't really like the silver on the front right here. You can change this to anything. If we go into the silver, actually, we can just change this to... We can go ahead and pull the metallic a little bit. We can go ahead and make that a little bit deeper. You can make it a little bit lighter if you want to. Let's see. Yeah, but that's roughly the tutorial. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.